Question: how many times did I really brush my hair before we got on the air? Only Debbie and only Steve can answer that. Back in 30 seconds. Hello again, everyone. This is Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. How's everybody doing on this live show? Hey, let's welcome back Debbie from the How Debbie Saves channel. How you doing, Debbie?
I'm good, Jan. How are you?
I'm very good. Hey, Steve, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay, now I thought I'd open up the show lightheartedly, although we're going to touch upon a bit of a serious subject. But I just couldn't help but, I don't know, it just so happened that how many times did I decide to comb my hair backstage here? Are we on the air? I keep hearing beeping.
We are on the air.
Okay, just saying, if we get off the air, I don't know what happened there. We heard like funny beeping sound. So Debbie, can you guesstimate about how many times I brushed my hair before we got on?
I'm going to say it was like 8.
It was. You win. Anybody that's ever been on one of my shows will know I have no bones, make no bones about going like this. Yeah, so how you doing today? Yeah, all right. Anyway, hope that this place finds you well. Listen, we do have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. I'm going to get right to it right away. And again, I thank you guys for being here today. You know, this year has been anything but humorous. And that's one of the reasons I says, let me open up the show a little bit lightly, okay? I will absolutely allow the comments to come in. I love you guys, but we really have to get going on some important stuff. And it really has to do with income loss and how it affects us, how it affects the way we live, how it affects us going to the grocery store, how it affects our pantries, our closets, our refrigerators. But take heart. There really are solutions, and we really can cope. Right, guys? We can do this together.
Absolutely.
Just have to be a little bit patient. Things are not exactly the same as another time, but that does not mean that we can't get to a better place again. You know, when I talk about saving money, sometimes it sounds almost like I'm coming off in a poverty mentality manner. No. I'm coming off as this is what you need to do right now. It's not going to be like that forever. And the ultimate goal is to lift ourselves out, get away from the food bank, and get over to the real bank. You know what I'm trying to say? The one that goes cha-ching. And we can do it. We just have to make up our mind to do it. So there. But I want to get a little lighthearted for a second. Debbie, you did something kind of brave recently in the kitchen. You baked something that a lot of people have fears and trepidations, I being one of them.
It was, you know, with the circumstances that we have now, like normally my family would go to my in-laws or my brother-in-laws who are phenomenal, like cooks. Like I wouldn't even try to replicate anything they do. And, but because of the circumstances now, we were home. And so not only did I make my first turkey, which I was so proud of, I took pictures of it like it was a runway star, but I made my first apple pie. And I was
congratulations. Look at Steve's face.
I was more nervous about the pie than I was about the turkey. How strange is that? Because my husband loves apple pie, and his mom, you know, when you have a mother-in-law who, I'm sorry, 1 second, please go. My little one is here.
That's okay. That's okay.
Hi. Okay, go.
Hello.
So sorry.
No, sorry. That's totally fine.
She has taken my husband's grasp.
That's totally fine.
My husband, you know, he loves apple pie, and my mother-in-law is, you know, like when your mom makes a good apple pie, no one touches it. So I was a little nervous, but I wanted to surprise him. And so I saw this recipe on Pinterest, and I was like, I have all the ingredients. I just, you know, got some crust and I made it, and it came out great. And it was really, really a simple recipe. It wasn't anything extravagant, but it came out great. And so since it came out so good, I had the crust was on sale, buy one, get one free. So got two. So I got two. And so since I had all the ingredients on hand, we just made it this week. And so I shared the recipe. My little one who just popped in, she helped me out.
Isn't that wonderful? And that video is available now. And I saw the video. And if it were ever possible for me to take my hand and reach into the screen and have a hunk of that pie, believe you me, I would have been there. I am a little bit pie phobic. Not so much about the, the inside of the pie, but the crust. So I do the next best thing. And I made one last night. I made an apple crisp. Remember last night I mentioned that, Debbie?
Yes. Yeah.
I every week, once a week, I like to do something treating. But apple crisp is not so bad as far as like I'm trying to watch certain things, So I modified the calories and stuff like that. Steve, have you ever baked an apple pie?
No, I've never baked an apple pie. One time, this is many years back, I'm thinking I would have had to have been in my late teens. It happened by complete accident. I was trying to make some type of lemon bars, and it asked to combine lemon juice and everything, cornstarch and everything like you're supposed to. Don't ask me how I did it, but I created the filling of a lemon meringue pie. Don't ask me. But
I love lemon meringue pie.
Oh, no.
It's my favorite.
That pie actually turned out rather, mind you, it was by complete freak accident, but it turned out really well. No, but my next pie that is one of my favorites. People say it's a Southern Florida thing. I do like a good key lime pie. There's a store here. You might be familiar. There's a grocery store here called Publix that's been around for eons. They make a really good key lime pie. And if you can't get a Publix, definitely go for the Marie Calendar. It gives it a run for its money.
Sounds so good. Go ahead.
But if I ever had an opportunity, I would do that one. Another one I like as well is a good cherry pie.
Sounds so good. Oh my gosh. Thank God talking about pie doesn't add calories. So we could talk about it. But you know what? Getting back to, because times are challenging and our pantries are getting a little barer than normally. Debbie, how are you about like swapping out things? And this is important for anyone viewing that's low on ingredients. Excuse me, Debbie. What would you do if you like didn't have cinnamon for your pie?
I would just grab something else, honestly. And I did a video a few weeks ago, and it was just one of those things like I didn't think it would take off, and I got so many comments on it because it was just something like it was I think 2 days before I had to go grocery shopping. I was trying to stretch my groceries a little bit more to save some money. And I looked in my fridge and I had taken out a package of ground chicken. But I didn't know, I had no idea what I was going to make. So I literally was like, you know what? I've got my phone here. Let me record this. And so I just went into the fridge. I grabbed some carrots. I grabbed some celery. I grabbed some rice and I made this recipe. And everyone was like, oh my gosh, that's such a great idea. Cause I didn't have a recipe. I was just like, this will go good. And this will go good. And oh my gosh, I have frozen corn and I have this.
That happened to me with my impromptu lo mein.
Yes.
Okay,
Jan. If I could reach through the camera and have some, that lo mein was delicious. When you said you cracked an egg in it, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so hungry.
Here's what happened with that, and your recipe sounds delightful. Here's what happened the other night. I had just one measly chicken leg. I said, that's not enough. I want a little something. So I looked in my refrigerator, and I do keep, if I have any leftover pasta, and a food saver. So it was plain. It was just a handful. I said, aha, I'm going to take this idea that I learned from another wonderful channel. And it says, wait a minute. And then I flavored it up, seasoned. It was already cooked. Then I put in some vegetables and some seasoning. And then I fortified it with an egg. And, we're YouTubers, all three of us. What's the first thing that comes into our mind anytime we have a life event? Wait, I'm going to eat dinner. Get the camera. Wait, I'm going to comb my hair. Get the camera. Anybody contemplating doing YouTube, I'm telling you, you may not plan it that way, but eventually everything you do, you're going to want what? The camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's a little harder because I've got, my kids around. As you can tell, I can't even like be on live with you without one of them popping up.
I think that's wonderful because it's real life and we love it. Not an ish at all whatsoever. Debbie and Steve, I had written down a whole bunch of like quick tips. I highly recommend if anybody's interested, either to watch this again on replay or to get a pen and take some notes. These are really important tips. So now I'm just like going to like calm down a minute. And then to you both guys, I will come back with some questions and then we'll take some comments. And actually some sweet people from my group, which I have to name, from my group, they're so wonderful. I took down a couple of questions from last night when I asked for some questions. So this is a jam-packed show, okay? I won't be too long, but the points that I make are very, very important. Okay. One, everyone who's having financial difficulty, I mean, as far as like even to have enough food, please make sure you do the right thing and go get help if you have serious problems with food. That means food pantry, SNAP benefit, whatever. This is not the time to be shy. You have to throw your pride away. Yes, you've heard me say this 1,000 times. I know. But maybe there's a person watching me right now that has never heard me say that. I will always allow for that one person who may be sitting out there viewing this broadcast, okay? Don't be shy. I was a single mother and I was a working person. If I had to get some help, I would go get some help. That's it. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. And it doesn't mean you're going to stay in that place forever.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
If you don't mind? This morning I was scrolling through Instagram and I have a lot of like frugal people that I follow on Instagram. You always seem to just get inspiration from someone else. And this lovely woman was, my heart broke. So she's in her 30s and she just lost her job 3 months ago because of what's going on. And so she said that she saw that people are going on Facebook and going on their town pages, and their town pages are posting like what food banks have extra food. And she actually she posted that she needed some help, and I guess she gave her address, and they dropped off a basket of frozen goods. And she said, and she showed it, and she said, this is enough to get me by for 2 weeks. And I think
that's wonderful.
And I think she lives by herself, but it was like soup, like these, and everything was in blocks because I guess it's close to like, their expiration date. And so they froze everything so it lasts even longer. And I just thought, wow, I never thought of Facebook like that, but Facebook can actually feed her for
excuse me.
A Facebook community. Help feed her for 2 weeks. I just thought that was
I'm so sorry. No, that's a good story.
And I never would have thought of looking in Facebook for something like that,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Forgive my allergy reaction. I don't know, something going on today. But we need to be, that's wonderful, by the way. And that's one of the reasons I stand behind food banks and food pantries and do what I can to encourage people 1 can at a time or $2 at a time. And that's going to be a topic of conversation during the week. Yeah. But I want to get back to this for 1 second. You have to be a bit of a bean counter when you're on a fixed or very low income. First, like I said, don't be shy. Go out and get the necessary help. If you need a SNAP card, you get the SNAP card. If you need to go to food bank, you go to food bank. That's that on that. But once you're set up with that, you're on let's say a fixed dollar amount on your card. So right now I'm gearing this specifically for people who have this type of government type of benefit. Okay. You have to become a bit of a bean counter. For example, think like this. 1 dozen eggs might equal, depends on your family and it depends on you. 1 dozen eggs might equal 12 breakfasts or 6. It depends on how many people are in your family or how many eggs you like to eat for breakfast. I'm just saying that as an example. If you need 2 dozen eggs, you count the calendar days. I'm not even kidding you. If you even have just a blank piece of paper and a simple notebook, write down the boxes, write the days of the month, write the month, count. That way you have. Isn't it smarter to sit down and face the music and have what you need ahead of time? That's just one example. Do not buy single serving food. Right, Debbie and Steve? I think you would tend to agree on that.
Yes.
To buy a one-time use only food. If you're on a low income situation, buying, let's say, like a one-time only eating food, that's a waste of money. Oh, I just heard something very ridiculous. You guys are not going to believe this. That is actually acceptable to pay for a live lobster with EBT. What's wrong with that picture? Lobster's very expensive. So if it's okay,
I had to take a sigh. I had to take like a deep breath.
I'm sorry. I know.
I'm not trying to be judgmental, but
lobster.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pick out your lobster.
I can't. How much more food could you have gotten to last you so much longer than to get one lobster? Like,
agreed.
Right. And in this
I'm not
case,
trying to be judgmental. I'm not trying to be judgmental, but
that's a good point. Yeah.
No, it's not judgmental. We're tying up funds that can be used to do 20 things instead of one thing. That was just an example.
Another waste of food is buying anything that's prepared or cut up. Like the amount of money that you're paying, people think like, oh, it's convenient and I can just grab it and I'll save 15 minutes in the kitchen. But you're paying someone's labor for actually cutting it up, and you're paying extra packaging for them to put it in the plastic container instead of buying, for example, a cantaloupe. A cantaloupe that can cost you what, $1? You can buy half a cantaloupe cut up for $2.50. It's like, no, you buy the cantaloupe, you cut it up, and you use it. And it's like what, 5 minutes to cut up a cantaloupe?
Yeah, I see Steve is in agreement with that. Adamantly.
How do you do it? 5 minutes. I mean, so you're paying
you're paying for that so-called convenience. And by the way, there's another thing that people don't realize with those cut up things. Those things are probably and usually about to expire.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's why they're cut up. So you're not getting the bargain you think you may be getting.
Or they add preservatives to it to make it last longer. And then now you're having something that could have been fresh and good for you. Now it has who knows what to have it last longer in the shelf, so they make money. Yeah.
Precisely. So buy multiple use item food. I'll give you an example. I know that Steve doesn't care for this, or no, was you another guest? Kraft American singles. Now, you may not like it, but it freezes. Yes, Kraft American singles do freeze. Why? Because they're individually wrapped.
Yep.
So you could take it out.
I do that. Yeah, I do that.
Yes, Steve.
Well, again, me being a child, I'm not really, I consider myself to be more of an 80s child, teenager, but in the latter part of the 70s, my school lunch was Kraft American singles, Oscar Mayer bologna, Miracle Whip, and Wonder Bread.
Oh my gosh, Oscar Mayer bologna, my stomach growled.
Yeah. So, and my Capri Sun drinks and all of that. So, I mean, I was
when he says Capri Sun, I always know he's an 80s kid. Capri. Pretty soon we'll be mentioning Lunchables. I'm sure that'll be.
I remember those. Yeah.
I can't stand those Lunchables.
I know you do.
I can't stand them. Every time I'm in the grocery store with the kids and they want one, I'm like, I can make one for half the price.
Right.
And it'll taste a lot better, and it'll be bigger than like this much that you're gonna have, and you're gonna tell me you're hungry an hour later. Yeah, no.
So this kind of item can be used for many, many ways. You can make a grilled cheese sandwich. You could use it as an ingredient inside of, let's say, a meatloaf. Some people have done that, or whatever. You get creative. Not just like let's say a person wants a steak. I'm not putting down anybody that wants a steak, but you're not going to buy a porterhouse steak if you're using an EBT card. What you do is you get a chuck roast, throw it into your slow cooker.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. I saw your video. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt you, but I knew you were going to go in there.
Yeah.
It tastes so good, and you
Mm-hmm.
could feed an army with that. Big old roast instead of one, right?
You should link that video that you did before. I know you made a video on that. You should link it down below because that was delicious. That looks so delicious.
You're so kind. You're so sweet to say it. Thank you. Now, so like I said, so anybody trying to manage your budget, shopping, stay away from single one-time use items. That is a no-no, and you're wasting your money, especially if you have kids. Just saying. Yep. Next, here's one of the most biggest secret of supermarkets, in my opinion. 2 items: frozen mixed vegetables that are in a bag. You get the best of every world, and you could use it at your convenience as you need it. You take out a cup, right? Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
See. Okay.
And then
So-
one thing about since the topic is low income, and I'm not trying to cut you off.
No.
Is if you buy those mixed vegetables, not only can you put them in anything to make anything healthier, but I would stay away from the steamable bags, because if you go, I don't want to name supermarkets, but like, let's just say there's a supermarket and they have their name brand, like their store brand of frozen mixed vegetables, and it's 16 ounces and it's on sale for $1. If right next to it is the steamable bags, which only have like a third in it, and it's
Right.
$1.50. And you think like, oh, it's
Anything with-
steamables. It's steamables. It's, when you hear steam, like there's certain words, there's certain key words that you hear that in your mind, you're like, oh, healthier.
You are so
healthier.
right.
But it's not true. All you got to do is take it and put it in a pot of water with just a little bit, a little bit of water, and you're steaming it yourself.
Anything that's a convenience added to your food item, cha-ching, listen to the cash register ring, but not in your favor. Not putting it down, when things get better, then hey, go for that convenience. But if you're in a crisis situation of food, I would think twice about paying for a so-called convenience. No, you're 100% right, Debbie, to point that out. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
The other thing is, so if you buy frozen mixed vegetables, keep them in the freezer, you have a constant supply of vegetables, and you're using all the different groups of them. So you're kind of like keeping a nutritional balance going on. And the flash frozen is the closest you could get to fresh.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, next, and also in the frozen section, and I saw this on one of those Cooking Network type shows years ago. And Rachel Ray is actually the person that said this. One of the biggest bargains in the grocery store is frozen spinach block. You know that block of spinach, Steve and Debbie? She explained that to make this one block, it takes like 4 pounds of actual spinach. I was like, what? So you're getting really a lot of nutrition and a lot of bang for your buck. And many times those go on sale.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Take that note. Oh, this is something that actually I have right in my hand here. I ran out of black tea and my stomach was kind of like, to ever get like that? Okay, can't identify. I ran out of my black tea. So what I did was an old trick of my mom's. Let's say it's 2:00 in the morning, right? You wake up, oh, I need a cup of tea. My stomach doesn't feel great. Okay. That's like the thing you run to when your stomach doesn't feel great, right? So wait, the cupboard is bare. There's no tea. Okay, so guess what? She taught me this. You just pour a little bit of milk in your cup, put boiling hot water on it. I drink my tea very lightly anyway. I literally do this, boop, and it's gone. That's such a waste. So I drink, and some people call it milk tea. I never had it before. But let me tell you something. It did the trick. So if that happens to you while you're going through the crisis and your stomach's bugging you, whatever, at least till you get to the grocery store, whatever, try this trick. It works. Just milk, pour the hot water in it. Don't need anything else. Unless you want to add sugar, that's up to you.
Okay. You're not reusing a tea bag when you do that. Is that what you're saying?
You can reuse a tea bag. No, my tea bags, black tea bags are in. I have lemon tea. I have all sorts of flavored tea. But like when your stomach, you just want a plain, regular, old-fashioned tea.
Yes.
So I drink the regular one like very mildly anyway, like tons of milk and just like I go like this with the bag. No, I definitely get more cups out of that bag. I will not just use it like that and just discard it. No.
I never thought of that.
It's a great trick, and I thought I'd mention it to you in case your cupboard doesn't have any tea in it and you're not feeling 100% safe, or you can't get to the grocery store. Therefore,
that's a good
try
idea.
Yes, it works. I'm telling you, it worked like a charm. Next, here's you may agree with this, Steve and Debbie. Invest in a box of spiral pasta or elbows. Okay, why? And I'll tell you why. Make a pasta salad. It yields so much. It's a blank canvas. My favorite one is this. I'll make it, because basically right now it's just me. So I'll take like a third of the box and I'll make it, and I'll add like a can of tuna, chop it in onion, a little bit of tomato, a little bit of mayonnaise, and some red wine vinegar, a little bit of salt and pepper. Mwah, voila. Guess what? I'll have lunch for like 3 days.
To lighten it up a minute. In Jersey, like back in the 90s, like I don't know if they do it now, they used to give you a free bowl of pasta salad when you're at a diner before you'd have like the meal. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I believe you, but that didn't happen in my time. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I grew up with that. So like before, like you know how you get your drink and everything, and you order something. If you order like certain things, you get a free thing of pasta salad. I'd always be like, "Can I have some more? Can I have some more? Can I have some more?" Love pasta salad.
What's funny about that is like this is usually the obvious things that you can make at home. You're like, but you go to another environment, suddenly it's like, wow.
Oh yeah, pasta salad.
Pasta salad. But look how inexpensive pasta is, and it doesn't have to be the way I make it. Some people chop in an egg. Some people, right? They put in whatever else they want to put in, whatever, chicken, whatever. So keep that in mind. What, Steve?
You can also take and I have a good pasta salad that I make with the tricolored rotini.
Yum.
I would take like balsamic vinaigrette dressing.
Yep.
I would get some sliced black olives and put in it, a little bit of spices, pepper,
right.
Add a little, like with a couple of things like you were mentioning, and then put it in the refrigerator and chill it for a couple of hours. It is, I've taken it to like little gatherings and parties. Within an hour, it was gone.
Wow.
Okay. Bingo. And another thing for those that work outside of the home, paying for a lot of money outside for lunch is a no-no.
I know.
You can make a big batch of that pasta salad on a Sunday, and as time goes by, I don't know about you, but to me, it tastes better. It tastes better the next day.
It does.
Flavors marry.
When I was at the office, like everyone's home now, but when I was at the office, my coworkers, they order lunch. It used to be at least 2 or 3 times a week. And I wouldn't participate, but they were spending like $13 a day.
I know. 3
times a week on food, and I'm like, like we talked about this before, Jan. Like the calculator's in my head. I'm like, no,
it's been going off in mine. I can hear it.
If it was someone's birthday, I'd participate because I don't want to be the one that's out. If we're celebrating someone's birthday and we're treating someone for their birthday, and I cared for that person, then I would participate. But and the coffees. And the coffees that are $10, $13, I'm sorry, not $10, like $7 for a cup of coffee from, that coffee place you won't mention with their big, huge cups. I'm like, $7.
We know the one that tastes like burnt bottom of the pot coffee that we hate it. I'll take my friend.
I thought I was the only one.
Any old day. So
I thought I was the only one that felt that way. Yes.
No, it tastes like burnt bottom of the pot coffee from the Nixon administration. Thank God I'm not doing a product review. That's how it tastes. Maybe because we know how expensive it is. That could be also the deterrent in the taste. Maybe in actuality, it tastes okay.
Yeah.
But $5-6 coffee?
I know.
It's, it's one of those things like, like people say, like, if you work out and then you go to eat like a chocolate bar, you think to yourself, how long do I have to be on the treadmill or something for that, to burn off that chocolate bar? I feel like my budget does that. Like when I see people spending 13, and I'm not judging anyone, but when I'm saying like when I see my coworkers who I really care for, like spending $13 on lunch, like 2-3 times a week, like my budget tells me no. You know what I mean? Like I can bring lunch, and if you make a delicious dinner.
Well, you got to head to the How Debbie Saves channel, everybody. If you're brand new here, get over to the How Debbie Saves channel. Get over to the Steve Young Pine channel. And by the way, if you like my channel, it's okay. You can stick around. You can subscribe. You can take your finger and go tap. I had a friend. I'm goofing for a minute, by the way, but this is a true story. I had a friend who viewed my videos since its inception of my channel, 2.5 years. I got to find out not long ago that person was not subscribed to my channel. But I saw every one of your videos. I said, but why didn't you subscribe? You know why? The person didn't know how, and that was the truth. It's not that hard. Seriously, that person didn't know how. So then I rapidly taught that person how. Very quick.
And then even if you subscribe, you got to click that bell too, so that way you're notified every time that you post a video. Because if they don't click that bell and they're subscribed, they can still miss out on your great content, which you have amazing content, Jan.
You have amazing content, and so do you, Steve. You know what it is too? The other reason for the bell, guess what? Don't assume I'm on every day at the same time.
Yeah.
Not true.
Mhm.
That's why you need to get notified if you like the channel, that is, if you like it. Okay, now, speaking of pasta, tell me, Steve, do you do what I do? Maybe Debbie, when you get a box of spaghetti, what is your instinctive thing that you do with your box of spaghetti?
I'm
What
gonna
do I
annoy
do?
my Italian
Steve? You know
friends.
what
I'm gonna annoy my Italian friends, but here goes. I cut it in half.
Yay!
That's it.
We're all half cutters. Yay!
I break it and then put it right. I do that.
But I take it to the next level. Okay, when you're, watching your budget extra, guess what? That one box will give you 2 weeks of pasta. Break it in half, put the other half away, and you'll be just fine with that half.
Just make sure you close it. Just make sure you close that box. Make sure you close that box right, because if too much air gets in that box, it doesn't taste the same.
No. Or put it in one of those nice clear jars, cover and stuff like that. So the bottom line is buy long pasta. You get a lot of value from that. Buy the long. Okay, so you double it in value. At least for me, these little tricks work. Just saying.
And the thin spaghetti, you get more than you do the thick spaghetti in the box.
Yes, that's Steve and I. We only eat thin spaghetti.
As a matter of fact, I'm staring at a box of Ronzoni thin spaghetti and a box of Muller's vermicelli, which is slightly smaller. But
I got to say something about Ronzoni. I'm going to give you a little trivia there. Did you know that that's a person's name? Ron space Zoni. That's how that name came to be. Look it up.
I can see that.
Ron. I thought it was somebody's last name 3/4 of my life.
That's what I would have thought too.
Steve, are you hungry? You're thinking about that Ronzoni in the corner of your room.
Well, I mean, I was considering for lunch or right around 12:31. I was going to do,
and that kind of lunch is a bargain, actually. All goofing aside, it really is.
I know that when I buy a box of pasta, I look for the buy one get ones if I can get it.
Absolutely, if you can get a deal, get a deal. Basically, it's this Janet's rule of half. I have been working with this rule of half for a long time. I used to write articles for something blank pages. I'm not saying the name of the place. And I wrote an article about the rule of half about a decade or so ago. And the same rules apply. But the next tip has to do with the rule of half. And guess what it has to do with? A box of what? Cake mix. So if you're on a budget and you bake a cake and you get 2 layers out of it, do you need to plop the layer on top of it and get rid of it all at once? No. You could easily frost or not frost and freeze the other layer for the future. So you get 2 sessions out of it, and it's less calories, and you're going to have less of a tendency to feel sick from overeating it.
Wow.
Oh.
Just saying.
That's why she's the queen. That's why you bow down.
No, I am very far from that. I'm very far from that. You are.
No, I never would have thought of that. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's the rule of half. And if you could half something and work with it, then do that. Finally, and then everybody else could talk, and I'll put it on the comments. Always buy, you know what I'm going to say, pancake, complete pancake mix. The one that you just add water. Not the one where you add an egg. You're right.
Why?
Why? Because you only need to add water. Why should I always have to add an egg, add milk? But there's more to that, because you could do so many things with box complete.
Okay.
I've made apple bread. I've made banana bread. I've made my bisconis. By the way, I did a video called about bisconis. Wait, a wonderful person left this comment overnight, and their initials are R.L. said, a viewer recently, overnight actually, voted if my bisconis were more like a scone or a biscuit, because I had thrown out that question. And the answer was scone with a biscuit crunch. And the person said, thank you, love the recipe. And that person made 2 batches.
Wow.
Buying a box of complete pancake mix doesn't just make pancakes and waffles. You can get breads out of it. You can make my bisconis out of it. You can make cookies out of it. Steve, did you not? Okay, talk about it.
Okay. You actually did a video on this, and this is when you had, some family over, and you had made a batch of cookies. They were so good, I think you made a second batch. So I like to do a lot of slow cooker experimenting. And anything that you think you can't do in a slow cooker, that's incorrect. So what I did is I have a box of complete pancake mix. I put everything together, followed your directions, Jan, and I put it in there and I cooked it in the slow cooker for about an hour and a half, put little M&Ms on it, or you can leave it off, put the cinnamon. Next time I do it, I want to add more cinnamon. But the way that it came out was almost like a snickerdoodle. It's so good.
It is precisely like a snickerdoodle. If you like snickerdoodles and you're low on cash and it's the holiday season, work with what you have. Now, Debbie, you and Steve, you guys are like sort of like the pantry expert. But wait, I have to answer a question from a viewer that was so kind to leave a question. This is from Mrs. Empty Nester. What is it like living in New York? Constantly busy, no matter what happens. Constantly busy. Do I need a car to get to the grocery store? Fortunately for myself, no, it is in walking distance. She also asked, would I rather take the subway? Subways are fun for scenic routes, but as for an everyday thing, thank goodness I am now 62 and I don't have to take the subway anymore.
You don't look 62 at all. Not the 62.
Bless your
you
heart. Bless your heart. Love you too. Okay, so Debbie, I was going to ask you and Steve, and then I'm going to turn on the comments. Okay. Yeah. Question: do you guys have any like 2 ingredient or 3 ingredient recipes to pass on? Because keeping your ingredients less means less to shop for, less to pay.
Well, I actually did something. It wasn't 2 or 3 ingredients, but I thought of this topic when I was making dinner last night. So I get my groceries delivered, and so because everything's pretty bad here, so we're not going into stores. And so I had only asked for a 15-pound Thanksgiving turkey, and instead they gave me a 22-pound Thanksgiving turkey. So that just added to my pressure because again, I never made it before, and now I'm making this 22-pounder. So I was like, okay, here we go. But anyway, so I was left with such a big carcass that my husband helped me kind of cut it up, and so I got 3 bags of the carcass from it, and I froze it. I took one. Well, I froze 2 of them. I took one that I didn't. I put it in my crock pot, and I just put some vegetables and some water, and I made my own broth. And so from that, last night I made turkey soup. So all I literally needed was I grabbed the bag of that I had frozen myself of vegetables that are about to go bad. I had celery that was about to go bad. I froze that. And I had some just carrots and onions. So literally all I grabbed that was celery, carrots, onions. I had my broth and then a little bit of the turkey meat that was left. And it came out delicious. I added a box of pasta.
That's fantastic.
I only used 3 ingredients, and I had a big thing of a turkey soup.
That is wonderful. And you know what it just reminded me of? And Steve and I have actually expounded upon this. If you have a situation where you could get a rotisserie chicken, like get it half price, time of day, you could get it half price.
In the evening.
Right away, eat off what you want that original night, but immediately clean off the rest of it and wrap it and freeze it. Right, Debbie? We've gone over that together on each other's shows one day. I'm almost positive. Yeah. Debbie, did you want to mention anything about shows or anything like that, or just leave it alone? Or
I mean, I have a trying, just because I'm thinking about soups now. I have a recipe that a video that I did where I roasted a chicken and then I made chicken soup the next day from it. And
that's fantastic. I love it. Okay, I'm going to head over to the comments, guys. Let me know if you can view them once I tap on. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. Ooh, wow. Holy smoke. I love it. I love it. How many folks are here? Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Hey, Sharon, how are you? I got to open up my glasses. Now it's the time when everybody watches me squint and roll a finger. Sharon, how are you? Good morning. Pam, good morning. How are you, dear? Adam, good evening from Adam, all the ways from Wales. How you doing, my dear? True Blonde Mom. Love that name. Good morning to you. Your first time checking us out. Yay. We hope that you're enjoying the show. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you hang out with us. Hey, aw, thank you. Hello, Walt. How are you? Denise Andrews, nice to meet. Oh, Kate sent you over? Oh my gosh. I normally would love to sit every week at her live show, and I normally would. But if I'm doing a live, unfortunately, it takes me, I have to like set up for this, but I have to watch her on playback. That's very nice. That was very kind of Kate. Thank you, Denise. Hope you stick around. The same thing? Wow, True Blonde. That's so cool. Patience is the hard part. I know. If you're talking about the situation that, everyone was affected in some way or another. Anyone that says they weren't affected. Go ahead, Steve, if you have to kick out. Go ahead.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye, dear. Okay, so now it's just us. I just wanted to say this. Most of you would not know. I actually lost 3 family members in 1 month. And I got on here. Thank you. And I got on here every day. I lost my mom the day before Easter. I lost my godson the day on Easter.
Oh.
And I lost my first husband, my daughter's dad, 3 weeks later. He passed from COVID. Just saying the thing. Yeah. So
how old was your godson?
My godson's 29. Anyway, but I learned from all 3 of them. Mm-hmm. You just get up and you keep going. You leave your tears in your pillow, because that's what I do. That's what I do best. This is hard, but not impossible. And that's why we're strong people. We got that in us.
That story puts things in perspective. Like, I mean, I have, like with me, it's like my husband and I are working from home, and we have the 3 kids being virtual, so that's difficult. But when I hear something like that, it's our stuff is so minimal.
Oh, thank you, dear. Thank you so much. And Adam's saying hello to you. Hi, Debbie. He don't know you. Hi. You better find out, Mr. Adam. Just saying. He also loves apple pie with custard. That sounds really good.
Oh, gosh.
Did Kate, I'm assuming Kate did a shout out to me today. Kate, if you're viewing this, thank you. Oh. Thank you so much. We love you.
She's such a doll. I caught half her video before I tuned in with you. I caught half of it. It was great.
There you go. I tuned in for the first 10 minutes. And here's the thing with Kate. By the way, if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, head on over to the Kate Caden channel. She talks about not just financials. It's like about the whole thing of it, like who we are as people, the motivation, the inspiration, the feel good, And that's why I keep going back for the last 2 years.
The way she explains things, even if you love budgeting, like you and I love to budget and we love to save money, I still feel like I take away something from Kate. She's awesome.
I do. I feel good every time. I can't tell you how many times it was like cleaning up the apartment, organizing my freezer for the week. Like you and I do that at the beginning of the week or something. And just Kate in the background. I'm like, yes. Thank you, Kate. If you're watching, we love you.
Thank you.
Okay, so Gina and Wes. Oh, there's Kate. Good morning. Thank you, Kate. Thank you so kindly. We love you. Hope you're doing well. Everybody's saying hello. So sweet. Kate said, making my morning breakfast, lunch wrap, and enjoying the show. Well, thank you. She's really like a very special person, like extremely, not even just saying it. Seriously, not just saying for real and for true. Dean and Wes. Hi, Kate. Laughing out loud. And Jan, Debbie, and Steve. Yay! Hi back. Wolf, stay safe, stay well. Happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas. Thank you, Wolf.
Thank you.
Good tidings to you too. Dean and Wes. We have a group here where you list what you need and people give it to you if you need it.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
That lady on Instagram, it just that's the way I started my day. Just so grateful for what I have. I mean, she's 30, hasn't worked in 3 months, and got food delivered to her door, and she said she can make meals for 2 weeks from it. I was just like,
Wow.
I told her, I said this afternoon I'm going on Facebook, I'm going to the community and see what else I could do to help out, when you hear something like that. I just
Absolutely. And you want to know something? People get a bad reputation for no good reason, because at the end of the day, I do believe we really got that good thing going on in all of us. And unfortunately, New Yorkers specifically have a very bad, they're not friendly. I don't agree. I mean, we have a tough sounding voice or a tough accent, but at the end of the day, whenever there's like a crisis, New Yorkers jump in and get together. That's what I've experienced.
9/11 was the best example of that you could ever see. It was something I'll never forget. The way that New York came together. It was just, I'm not to get dark on you. I'm not trying to get dark on you, but when you talk about New York being united.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about
9/11.
Yeah. Yes, I was here that day. I was going to go to the Trade Center, Building 5. You're familiar with the PATH train, right, Debbie?
Of course, yeah.
I was going to take the PATH train up to Newport. My mother said it was such a glorious, beautiful day. She said, "Oh, Jan, can we go shopping? But first, let's have a cup of tea." That cup of tea saved my life.
Wow.
Because we heard every sound above. I'm just saying the truth. That we heard every sound above us. I had to calm my mother down. I says, "No, it's nothing. A truck backfired." She was a senior. "Oh, a truck backfired. Don't worry about it." And the rest is history. One day I'm going to do a special show. We could, maybe air our feelings about that, because there are some unresolved issues for locals that experience all those sounds and smells and sights. It's never easy.
I'm in New Jersey, and I'll never forget.
You're our neighbor.
The smoke, like that it was I worked back then in I had 2 jobs. So I was working as a receptionist for one job, and then I was working at another firm, helping them out at night. And it's in Newark, so it's one of those skyscrapers. So I see the Twin Towers like every day, and all you saw was smoke for weeks. It was
well, at that time I was residing in the Newport area, and if you're familiar with Newport, you just like stare at it. There's the water and there's the skyline. You just forget it. But anyway, that's we will one day we'll go off topic of budget and just do like some sort of a chat. Sure. That's wonderful though, Dina and Wes. You when I hear stories like this, it restores my faith in humanity. It really does. Granny Prepper, good morning, good afternoon now. How you doing, Granny Prepper? We love you. Such nice people. God bless everybody here. Yeah. Everybody say hello to each other. Hey, ask Pammy, how are you? Oh, that's wonderful. Yes, we hope Kate and her beautiful son, Caden, have a wonderful day. So D&M West says, buy in bulk and big packaging of meats. And you divide. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the reminder. I have it written here. You are a godsend, D&M, because I have a formula, and I have a suspicion we're on the same page. Look at that, friends already. I wrote it like this. Top smart secret. This is the truth. If you want to know, to always make sure that you have meat in your freezer, even if you're working with a SNAP card or a limited budget or whatever, this is the trick. Let's pretend that you like beef. Let's pretend that you like chicken. Let's pretend that you like fish. And let's pretend that you like pork. Buy every meat group in bulk, family size packs, okay? Divide everything up. Divide each pack up into whatever it occurs to, like, let's say, make 7 packs of each group. You have 28 days of meat in your freezer. Even if you live alone. Yeah. If you live alone, so what? You're stocked up for the next 2-3 months.
Now, chicken, I mean, I don't cook fish. I love fish. My husband.
Right, depends on your likes and your family. Yeah.
It depends on my kids. But if it's up to me, I eat fish every day. I love fish. But one thing is chicken and beef are really expensive here, and even the family packs are really expensive here. So I was in the supermarket months ago before this whole thing started, and the butcher came out, And he said to me at the supermarket, and he's like, hey, is there anything that you need? Because I was looking for something that was inexpensive that I can buy in bulk or cut down and freeze, so I can make a few meals out of it. But I was looking at these prices and they were kind of crazy. And so he says to me, and I said to him, I was like, when do your prices drop? And he said to me, Wednesday after 3:00, they take the meat and the chicken that they have and they put it back and they re-sticker it half price.
Wow. I love all these secrets.
I'm like, I was floored. And then you start thinking about the logic of the stores, and it totally makes sense because now the sales go on, right? The circular gets circulated. The sales typically go from Sunday to Saturday. So they are going to want to put out their new inventory, right? Sunday morning. So they want to make sure that their old inventory is sold before Sunday. So they put Wednesday night, they take it, they reprice it, they put it back. And now from Wednesday evening or probably Thursday morning, if the store isn't a 24-hour store, from Thursday to Saturday, you're getting the same meat. And it's not expired or anything like that. It still has like a few days. So you can still put it in the freezer. So you take it.
And yet another reason to head over to the How Debbie Saves channel. Just saying. No, this is why I put you on, because I really care. I really, really care about anybody taking the time to view this channel. I noticed you a while back, and I said, this lady has to get known.
You're very sweet.
No, I'm very. So Denise Andrews says, buying a bakery birthday cake with snap. Well, I saw a video. Okay, I don't know how correct that is, but someone said that they can do that. I'm not saying that they should do that, but they said they have the ability to do that. It has to do with the percentage of gloppy icing on top of it. I don't know. I wouldn't. What I just said was buy a box of box cake mix and take the 2 rounds and take one of the rounds and put it in the freezer. And then that way you get 2 sessions of it. So it's less calories. It shares better.
And it's better. And if you have kids, it's better because like to me, it's like I like making treats once in a while for them, but I don't want them to be so hooked on the sugar. And so like being able to make something and then put it in the freezer, cuts back on calories too, because I don't want them bouncing off the walls.
And thank you, Kate Caden, because I love Kraft American Singles too. She's eating a slice of. Did you make your avocado toast too? I always imagine you making avocado toast as well. You buy the Aldi single. I wish I had an Aldi's near me. I hear nothing but good stuff about it.
It's good.
We don't have. No, we don't have. No. I know they're in Jersey, but not here in the city. They taste the same and are good. Oh, 1/3 of the price. I'm there. I mean, so to speak. Let's see. Here we go. True Blonde Mom. I keep singles for grilled cheese, but for sandwiches or wraps, there's no substitute for. No, I understand that, and I agree with you. I only have one issue with like the real one. When you go to the deli counter, it's excellent the very first day.
Yeah.
But for me, Jan, maybe not other people, the one that I get turns into like waxy the next day, no matter how I wrap it. So, but I do agree with you. There's nothing like the real thing. But the other things, we're trying to like keep our budget in check.
If that happens to you, Jan, I've actually taken it and I've frozen it. And then when you're going to make a meal that requires cheese, since it's frozen, you just take it out and thaw it for just a few minutes. You can use a knife and cut it to wherever you need, and you can just add it to your meal.
Absolutely. Kate Caden says she wishes she had. No, yeah, I do. I agree with you. Me too. We have the same ish.
I haven't been able to step into our Aldi's.
Deb loves all of them. Okay, cool. What's that, Deb?
No, I said I haven't been able to step into my Aldi since this whole thing started, but it's great. It's a great store.
Oh, look at the cute. Kate, I have difficulties trying to figure out how to get those little symbols on. That's why I never put symbols on anything. Where do you get those symbols when you're on a chat? Somebody needs to educate me on that. See, like those cute little sticker comment like that? I don't know how to do it. Let's see. Lidl and Aldi have inexpensive cheese. Wow. We do not have either of those stores in NM. Oh. Avoid frequent. Okay. Adam, you're on our page. Debbie, Jan, and Deb unite. Look at what Adam says here. Avoid frequent stores. Yeah, he goes, avoid frequent trips to stores that will save you a lot of money. By the way, I'm sorry I didn't tap on that.
Yes, Adam.
I mean, Adam, if like you were here, we'd be like high-fiving you.
Yes.
People go, how many times you go to grocery store? Not that much.
Mm-hmm.
That's my answer. That's the short answer.
Yeah.
On purpose. Because it all depends on your needs too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like here.
Yeah.
I don't need to buy for an army.
Yeah.
It was different when my mom was here.
Mm-hmm.
My life changed greatly, since my mom left. It's just I have to like roll with the punches. Let's see. And make a list, Adam. Very true. I think hopefully he does. What discount grocery stores are in NMD and well, I could tell you at least in New York, not at all. No discount stores here. I wish. Let's see. Walmart, Albertsons. Okay.
Walmart.
Adam buys frozen and heavy stuff online. That's smart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can never find spinach in the block anymore. Really, Denise? Aw.
Wow.
That's nice. You know what? You need to talk to the store manager. That doesn't sound right, Denise.
Mm-hmm. They might be keeping
it. What do you?
They might be keeping it in a different part too, because sometimes if you're looking for the vegetables in the vegetable section and it's on sale, they'll put it at the end cap in those freezers. So if you look in one spot, it could be in another.
That's very, very true.
Mm-hmm.
IGAs are here. Also, they often have local produce and unique items. Okay, they're dialoguing together. So cute. You often ask people that do not pick their fruit trees for them, and you will can them and give them some too for letting them pick. Oh, well, it sounds like fun.
Wow.
Pam, pasta salad is one of my go-to meals. Yeah, very delicious. Well, listen, guys, I'm going to just go through these comments, and guess what? It's almost 1 hour, and I know everyone is very busy. I'm going to expound upon this topic during the week. So either I'm going to come back live at 6:15 a.m. tomorrow, or I'm going to make a video continuing about it. Debbie, I want to thank you so much for being here. I really, not just saying it, because you guys hear me say this phrase a lot. I really do appreciate your time.
No, it's a pleasure. Anytime I get to spend with you, I love it, honestly. And I could talk about, saving money and being frugal all day with you.
Absolutely. D&M goes, we made some great pomegranate jelly. This guy called and gave us boxes of them. That's a nice guy. D&M went.
I'm sorry, I got excited. I saw Patty's on.
Where is she?
She's right there. She's saying hi to Granny Pepper. Prepper, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mixed cauliflower, cooked, uncooked. Oh, everything sounds so yummy. Oh, it's an Amish dish. Very cool. Battery operated whip. Oh, where are we? What happened?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Can you see me?
I can see you.
Well, I can't see you.
Oh no. I don't know
Isn't
why.
that weird? That is weird.
Yeah, I don't know why. The people in the comments are saying goodbye, but I see you. You're
Yeah.
frozen.
You know what? We're gonna have to end this broadcast because something weird just happened. It just like went away. Thank you, everybody. And I'm so sorry I had to end this way, but we're going to continue the subject. Take care, everyone. Thank you for your time. Debbie, don't go away. I'm going to try to get back to the broadcast room. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye, guys.
I don't know if we're off the air yet, but I'll find out.
I still see the clock going.
Okay, so that means we're still on the air. Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what's happening here, but this is the fun of live stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, listen, guys. Unfortunately, I have to go.
Oh, there you are.
It's a technical issue. Don't go away, Deb.
No problem.
It still says live.
Mm-hmm.
That's too funny.
I'm still reading these great comments.